Hello there. It's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Johnny Test, Fred Flintstone, and one of my personal favorites, Leonardo. And you are listening to Epic Tales from the Sewer. It's totally awesome. Turtle power. Go, go, go.
Welcome to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. Grab yourself a slice, strap into the party wagon, and hang on tight. Give it up for your hosts, the Cowabunga Combo, Justin and Eric.
IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Micro Series number 8, Villains, The Shredder. Story by Dan Duncan and Paul Elor. Script by Paul Elor. Art by Dan Duncan. Colors by Ian Hearing. Letters by Sean Lee. We start off in a boardroom. We could see now that there's the Mafia bosses, along with Kitsune, Karai, Hun, and the Shredder sits at the place of honor on the end. Karai speaks. There's been no sign of turtles for days, or the rat. We'll keep looking. And in the meantime, we see back on where it looks like the Foot Clan fighting the turtles, then images of the purple dragons robbing a store, and then Bebop and Rocksteady. We grow more powerful. We tighten our grip on the city more and more with each passing day. We have more men, more resources, more brute force than ever before, referring to, of course, Rocksteady and Bebop. Of course, we've had casualties, but this is inevitable in war. Everyone dies sometimes. Well, almost everyone. Looking back at Oroku Saki, who looks upset. We're done, he says. As everyone gets up from the table, Kitsune remains. Why are you still here, Kitsune? Every time someone alludes to your unique history, you... I don't have time for this. End the conversation. I've tried to learn why, but you won't talk about it. It is my choice. And before it was a harmless choice, but now your power has grown. The secret, it weakens you. He looks upset. All those centuries ago before my death, you said I would be resurrected, bonded to the same body, but you never told me where my spirit would go. Because I did not know. So tell me, Oroku Saki, where did you go? We show him falling. Looks like falling deep, deep until he hits the water. Where everyone goes when their mortal journey draws to a close. I was just there a bit early. He plunges into the water, then reaches for the surface and takes a gasping breath. Then he comes to shore and sees a funny sort of demon with yellow eyes and blue hair and a headband sitting on a rock. Oh, good. I've been waiting for you. This is... What am I doing here? He says to the imp. That's a big question, isn't it? This place is for the dead. Everyone else here is a permanent resident, but not you. You're just passing through in between life and death. That's why I'm here to warn you. Do not disturb the natural order of this place. Let those who live here try to find some measure of peace. Otherwise, your life will be truly extinguished forever. No more resurrections, no more cheating death. You think you can take my soul? He says. Oh no, that's not the way it works. We can't take your soul. He looks intently, with eyes wide open. But you can give it to us. Moving on, Oroku Saki walks on a desolate gray plain towards signs of life that he sees. Or what he supposes are signs of life. The child's warning gave no pause. This was just another realm to conquer. So I set off, moving ever closer to a distant fortress. If this place had a leader, I knew I would find him there. I walked for days through a landscape filled with restless souls, like shadows on a wall, no purpose, no meaning, no power over their destiny. I realized they were mere reflections of their former selves. I could see some vacant-eyed looks on these people that look like Japanese villagers. It's a horrifying fate, one that awaits every man and woman on this earth. I vowed it would not be mine. he comes upon what looks like a big campfire with a lot of people kind of standing around it in shadow. During my journey, I came across restless soldiers who had banded together in the afterlife. They were not my enemies, so I gave them a wide berth. Until I surveyed the fortress from up close, it was defended heavily by guards on every side. I would need a distraction, one that would allow me to slip through their ranks. So I returned to the warrior band, believing that I could appeal to their thirst for glory and telling them of the great victory that awaited. They fell upon me immediately, as I knew they would. Most warriors follow a certain path, and each path has its own weaknesses. Discover the weaknesses, strike fast, and you can prevail. Looks like there's a Shaolin monk that attacks him. He gets into stance and then hits him with his knee right in the side of the face. Some fight low to the ground, exposing the face to an easy attack. The next one gets kicked right in the stomach. Some work in close quarters, allowing their opponent to simply step back and strike. Some are formulas, too accustomed to rules and regulations, easily surprised, as he hits the next one with a headbutt. Then it looks like a Confederate soldier and a samurai are attacking him from behind. Still, most warriors will adapt. Give them enough time and they will change tactics as the battle demands. These warriors did not. They fought mindlessly. He's slashed in the back by the Confederate soldier with his bayonet. Raw! Their only advantage were sheer numbers and pure ferocity. Gets hit with the Japanese World War II soldier. And then he gets hit in the leg. Then finally, kicked into a pit as he falls down, narrowly surviving by grasping onto a tree on the side of the cliff. Then, just to break his fall, he falls onto the ground with a thump. I felt my ribs crack. I felt the air leave my lungs, but I set aside the pain, looking just at the sky as he saw all of them falling down on him now, jumping off the cliff. The battle was not yet over. The vacant eyes of the soldiers as they all jumped down the cliff, swords in hand and musket, toward him. When I saw all those warriors rain down from above, I knew that I must change my plans. I would not gain their respect by fighting back. A call to victory would fall upon deaf ears. They may have been warriors in life, but in death they were just like every other restless soul, going through the motions, acting out the roles they had played in life. They had no desire to conquer, no thirst for victory, no leaders, no tactics, no plan. They wanted one thing, to fight, mindlessly, endlessly. He looks up and shouts, "Enough!" They look puzzled. You can fight me, maybe even defeat me, and then it will be over, and you'll be left where I found you, with no enemy, no battle. Or you can follow me and battle an army. When I arrived here, they told me that this place was a place of peace. Do you feel peaceful? He says. You're warriors, and you are made to fight, so follow me into battle. I can't guarantee victory, but I can guarantee you this. There will be no rest. There will be no wretched peace. It seems that they've all decided to follow him as they follow him into the fray, fighting these yellow-winged demons. The warriors of all different eras are following Oroku Saki into battle. He gets hit in the left shoulder with an arrow with a gawk. I had to take advantage of my warrior's zeal, to let them serve as a distraction while I slipped through the ranks and made my way to the castle. He plucks out the arrow and then uses it to stab in the eye of one of the yellow demons. There was no time to analyze these demons' fighting style or determine their weaknesses, but when in doubt, aim for the eyes. He slips through to the entrance, now headed through a tunnel into the throne room. Once I was inside, the path was clear. The restless army had drawn out all the demon guards outside. I was so close. Soon I would conquer. Soon I would rule. Only the king on his throne stood in my way. I was so certain of this that victory was in my reach. It's an imposing figure wearing samurai armor with a red mask. When their king rose, he did so slowly, unsteadily, as they go towards each other, sword drawn in each hand. Make no mistake, he was a skilled combatant and strong as an ox. He elbows Oroku Saki in the side of the head, putting him shakily, rocking him backwards. But his armor was bulky, and his breathing was heavy. He was an old man, a once proud warrior, now past his prime. So I let him wear himself out. Another kick. Knocking him back again, Oroku Saki comes back and slashes at the back of his knees, knocking him to the ground. Certain, so certain I would defeat you, that I would rule forever. And now, he looks on to him, do it! Oroku Saki plunges his sword deep into his heart as he grabs the sword and pulls it in, then knocking him over in defeat. There's your king! I won, as I knew I would. The very notion that I could be defeated was laughable. And then, back to the imp now, looking up at Oroku Saki from the dead body. Taking off the mask, I saw the face of my enemy. It was me. Thank you, says the imp, as we look onto the now soulless body of an old Oroku Saki with his shredder scar. Shaken, he says to the imp, How, Saki? Do you actually think you were special? You could cheat death forever? Let me tell you what your future holds. You will lead armies, shows him leading the Foot Clan. You will conquer the world, shows him with Krang, and then you will destroy it. Aliens fighting everywhere, and neutrinos. You will wipe away humanity, build a new world ruled by barbarian hordes and mutated freaks, and then you will die, as all men do, no matter how powerful they think they are. And yes, Oroku Saki, you will conquer the afterlife, but it does not travel in a straight line, not here. Until someday, today you will encounter the one person whose thirst for power equals your own. The one person who can end your rule, condemn you to the eternity spent wandering restless, trapped. That's how. The surprise on Oroku Saki's eyes as he looks absolutely shocked. Now, back to the Foot Clan headquarters where he talks to Kitsune, who rests listening to him. And you know the rest. Karai resurrected me. At first I remembered none of this, but slowly it came back to me, piece by piece, all of it. So yes, the city is mine, but what is a city compared to eternity? Saki, you have a powerful mind. This was certainly just a dream, a lesson you were teaching yourself. It's a lesson you should take to heart, but not one that you should overshadow your life. Perhaps you're right. Thank you for your counsel. Of course, she says. I am always here for you. As she leaves the room, he picks up his helmet. Looking at it, I haven't told her the whole story. I haven't said that it wasn't just the long sleep. It's every sleep, every night, every day, sometimes just when I close my eyes. I see him, the visage of himself, when he had killed him, when he was old with a beard. The shogun who had ruled the afterlife. He's there, always a constant reminder of what awaits. No, what could await. The demons made a mistake in telling me what's to come. Now that I know what's coming, I'll do it right. I'll become stronger, more powerful. And when the time comes, I will conquer. I will gut my younger self like a fish. I will tear him limb from limb, and I will burn him down and spread his ashes across my kingdom. I will conquer. I always do, he says as he looks out, standing at the top of his skyscraper headquarters, looking off across the city that he now owns. And that's the end of the Shredder micro-series.
Hi, this is Francois Chow. I am the Shredder from Secret of the Ooze. And it's been a pleasure for me to talk to Justin and Eric on Epic Tales from the Sewers. It's been great, guys.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 29. Story by Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, and Tom Waltz. With script by Tom Waltz. Art by Sophie Campbell. Colors by Rhonda Pattinson, with letters by Sean Lee. North Hampton, Chapter 1. I've been in some nasty brawls in my time, but that thing, damn! I know, just when you think things can't get any crazier. You see a silhouette of the city at nighttime, all lit up. Then, the church. Casey and April seem to be talking to each other. I hated having it cut out like that. I feel like a coward. What else could we do? Really, if we'd stayed, we would have been hunted us down. You know that. We're lucky we all got away. You see the old turtle sewer lair. Then, second time around. Yeah, you're right. Could have been a lot worse. At least none of us got killed. We see the rubble of StockGen. You can see that there's destroyed Mausers everywhere. Now there's rock soldiers standing there with one of the scientists. No, but some of us came close. Too close. All that violence. It was too much, too scary. New York's not a safe place for any of us right now, if it ever was. As much as I hate the idea, we've got to put it way behind us for a while. Shows the outside of the theater and then the stage where the fight took place. And then, looks like a nice winding New England road with the van with everybody in it driving away. Front seat, Casey's driving next to April as they talk. Thanks for driving, Casey. My hands were shaking too much to hold the steering wheel. Is it hurting your side? Nah, it's cool, April. With Donnie's stitch-up job, I'm feeling better than I was at the hospital. Anyway, keeps me from thinking about, well, you know. Your dad? Yeah. I just need some serious shut-eye to get my body fixed and my head together. Yeah, I think we all need that right now, says April. Lots of rest. We look on, we can see Michelangelo resting on Raphael, both asleep. Donatello, holding Master Splinter who has a broken leg, both asleep. In the back corner, Leonardo, asleep by himself. Lots of rest, lots of healing. Why are we slowing down? Are we there yet? Says Mikey. Yep, Mikey, says April. We're here. Looks like a very spacious farm. There's a red barn, maybe about half a mile away from a farmhouse. Beautiful New England foliage everywhere. Oh man, it feels so good to stretch. I can only imagine how Father's feeling. His leg is in pretty bad shape. Him and Leo are still clonked out. I say we let him sleep a little more while we can unload without him. Whoa, April, is this where your parents live? No, Mikey, they live in the main house down the drive. This is where you'll be staying. She opens up the barn. Well, at least it ain't underground. Yeah, wish I could give you guys a little something more comfy, but I already pushing things with my parents by bringing Casey. They're winning 4 turtle men and a giant rat man, and no offense, but... Don't sweat it, April. Works great. Thanks, says Donnie. We've got plenty of camping gear and lots of space for you guys to spread out. There's electricity and even a small bathroom with running water. No shower, though. Sorry. But the lake's super clean. I used to wash my hair in there all the time when I was a kid. Didn't you tell me your parents lived in Albany? Says Donnie. They do. My dad inherited this old place after my grandmother O'Neill passed away. He and my mom were always going to retire here. But after his stroke, my mom figured the fresh country air might help recuperate him faster. And with everything we went through in New York, I thought that it might do us all some good too. Out comes Mikey. Bathroom's free if anyone's gotta go. So much for fresh air. Ew! Anyway, we better wake Splinter and Leo. My parents were expecting us half an hour ago and I don't want to make them worry. And listen, the house is far enough away that I hope that they won't notice you here, but you've got to stay hidden, okay? You've got it, April. We'll stay completely inconspicuous. Yeah. Sneaky and silent's what we do, says Raph, unloading a suitcase. I just hope being here helps Leo get better. He's so messed up. Like 1 second he remembers us, the next it's like his worst enemies or something. His behavior is consistent with what I've read about brainwashing. Shredder seriously got in his head, somehow, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on him. Watch for relapses and stuff like that, says Donatello. Sorry to wake you, Sensei. April's gotta go see her parents now. You need not apologize, my sons. I am fine. We must focus our concerns on Leonardo. He has been through an extremely traumatic journey. Raphael goes in to wake Leo in the van. Yo, Leo, time to wake up, buddy. Who? Oh, whoa, chill, bro. It's me, Raph, remember? Raph. Where? How? Leo says, now sort of getting up and just being absolutely startled. Let me out, as he runs out into the woods. Sure, no problem. Rustling in the woods gets Raphael's attention as he throws his size towards a tree and it lands in with a shunk. What the? Is that? Oh, hell no. We can see it's Allopex who has followed them. Stinking mutt. Wait, She's visibly damaged by the shredder as he takes her down and putting his side to her face. Trying to ambush us, huh? No, you're wrong. I don't want to fight. Yeah, right. Now, tell me who's with you before Leonardo kicks him off. Oof, drops the sigh. Back off. She said she doesn't want to fight. Leo, finally making some sense, defends Allopex who stands behind him. Why's Leo yelling at Raph? Says Mikey. Where the heck did Allopex come from? Donnie goes to grab his bow. So much for sneaky and silent, says April. Leo, what the hell are you doing? She was just about to sneak attack you a few seconds ago. No, she wasn't. Didn't you hear her? Can't you see she's hurt bad? Yeah, well, a lot of us are hurting right now, and the only one of us is Foot Clan scum. Unless what? I don't know, bro. You tell me. You're the one still protecting Shredder's little flea bag. This has nothing to do with Shredder. You sure? Leo dives on Raph, grabbing him by the head, taking Raph completely by surprise. Oh, great, says Casey, as him, April, and Splinter look on. Donatello goes to help. Come on, Mikey. Keep your eyes peeled for more foot. Leo takes a swing at him. Raph ducks it. Look at you, Leo. First you stick up for the foot mutt. Now you're trying to waste me. Why is that, huh? He grabs him by the collar, pulling him towards him. Donatello pulls Raph back. Knock it off, Raph. Yeah, this is stupid, says Mikey. Don't touch me, says Leo. I'm just trying to help, dude. Damn it, Donnie, get off me. Then quit being an idiot. Enough. That is enough, my sons. But Master the Foot might do as I say and stand down. Allopex is obviously alone and outnumbered. Miss O'Neill graciously invited us to this place in order to provide us with much-needed sanctuary. I would not have you offending our host and dishonoring ourselves by continuing the conflict we are attempting to leave behind. They all cross their arms and look down. Fine, says Raph, even Allopex. As for you, Allopex, I too am curious how it is you have come to be with us, and why. However, I will allow you the opportunity to explain yourself, as you did intervene during my battle with Oroku Saki. But Sensei, silence Raphael. Look, you hate me. You don't trust me, I get it. I know what's happened between us, but whether you believe me or not, I'm not Foot anymore. You know exactly what happened. I attacked the Shredder, but I wasn't able to kill him, so I knew I had to escape. I just didn't know where to go. The Foot Clan was all I had. I didn't need Karai's arrow in my arm to remind me, as I was just about as good as dead to the Foot. So I followed you. I heard all you talking, heard you say that you were leaving the city. So my choice was made. She pulls the arrow out, just with a grimace of pain, as she clutches onto the top of the van. If the Foot wanted to kill me, they'd have to catch me first. I don't care if you think I'm lying. I really don't want to fight. Not anymore. Wait, what I don't understand is why you attacked the Shredder in the first place. What was in it for you? He murdered my family. You expect us to believe that load of crap? I've heard this whole poor victim fox sob story before. She's telling the truth. I know she is. That why you're so hot to protect her then? What aren't you telling us, Leo? Don't even. Stop! I will not tolerate this childish behavior. You will both cease now. Save your commands, Yoshi. You're not my master. Leonardo walks off. Very well. Allopex, whether or not you speak truly about the Shredder, you did save my life, and I am honor-bound to respect that fact. It is in the spirit of Bushido I accept your call for a truce. We will not harass you any further. But, Father, it is my final decision. Doesn't matter. I don't need your honor or your help. She walks away. Okay, says April to Casey. Not too awkward. Time to go? Yeah. As much as I'd like to stick around, we really need to get my parents' house, guys. My mom probably ready to send out the National Guard right about now. I'm really sorry about all the drama, April, says Donnie. It's fine, Donnie. We all knew this wasn't going to be easy. Just don't burn down the barn or anything, okay? Dude, you gotta cut Leo some slack. Guy's been through hell, says Casey. I know, man. I feel really bad about losing my cool with him like that. I know he ain't himself right now, but I still don't trust that stinking flea bag, no matter what pity party she's trying to throw. Yeah, well, take it easy, bro. Things will work out now. Wish me luck. I gotta meet my girlfriend's parents. Girlfriend? When that happen? When I was in the hospital. We're not saying much about it yet. It's all new and stuff. And, well, I don't want to go too fast. Yeah, nothing says slow like meeting the parents. Oh, man, says Casey. Don't remind me. As they drive on to the main house. There it is. You ready? I don't know, April. I feel like I should have my hockey mask or something. Oh, come on, you big baby. My parents don't bite. Much. What? There you are. I was getting worried about you, kiddo. What took you so long? Sorry, Mom. We ran into a bit of a distraction, and that kind of threw us off our schedule a bit. Distraction, huh? Well, wherever it is, I'm glad you're okay. Mom, I'd like you to meet Casey Jones. Casey, this is my mom, Elizabeth O'Neill. Nice to meet you, Mrs. O'Neill. Oh, just call me Beth. Everyone does. It's nice to finally meet you, too, Casey. April's told me a lot about you. She said you were a star hockey player at her school. Her dad's a huge sports nut. You two should get along great. How's Dad? He's trying so hard to get better, and we have little victories every day, every now. He's in the living room right now, watching baseball, of course. We can see that he's in a wheelchair. He's got white hair on the side of his red hair. John, April's here with her friend from college, Casey Jones, the hockey player we talked about. Happy everyone safe. Sorry can't shake hands, Casey. Oh, that's okay, sir. Not sir, John. You'll find we're pretty informal around here. Hi, Daddy. Hi, baby. I can't tell you how relieved we were when you called to say that you were on your way, sweetie. Talk about perfect timing, just as we heard of the stock gen on the news. Stock gen? Wait, you didn't know? No, what? It's gone. Completely gone. Now shift to Leonardo looking at a pool of water in the forest. You can see he's flashing back to his visions, fighting against Raphael with Kitsune in the background. Kitsune says, You cannot escape the truth. Like a monster seeking prey in the night, the truth will hunt you down. Back to him fighting with Raph as Dark Leonardo. Fool, you will die for that. See, now I'm gonna have to ask you to change your tone, man. You sound just like that chump Shredder right now. Now, he talks to the Shredder. True strength comes from the will to strike, quickly and without mercy. Then, to him with Tang Shin, in his revelation. In truth, the responsibility for all sadness belongs to another. Who, Mother? Tell me, please. My child, when you find that which you have lost, you will also find the answer to that question. Mother, where are you? I need you now. Please, I'm so confused. He looks up into the moonlight. So tired. Now, Elizabeth O'Neill is tucking John into bed. Casey seems nice. Yes, he does seem nice, doesn't he? Poor thing's like a deer caught in headlights, though. Get some sleep now. Good night, my love. Okay, I've got your room ready, April. And here's some fresh blankets and a pillow for Casey on the hide-a-bed. Thanks, O'Neill, Mrs. O'Neill, I mean Beth. Wow, I still can't believe it. Stockton totally destroyed. It's just too crazy. Yeah, well, when you consider the years your dad worked there, it boggles the mind to think of all that's gone down. And oh my God, thank God you weren't there. Your dad would have never forgiven himself for helping you get that internship. He was so relieved you weren't hurt. If it was an accident, Mom, the whole time I was working there at Stockton, there were some pretty shady things going on there. A lot of it was illegal, I think. I was actually hoping to talk to Dad about it. Strange experiments with animals and some crazy ooze stuff that... Ooze? Did you say ooze? Yeah, why? Mom, what's wrong? Maybe nothing. You two wait here for a bit. I'll explain everything, but I'm just going to brew some tea first. Now, Turtle's in the barn. It's dark. Raph can't sleep, but it looks like everybody else is settled in for the night. We hear Beth saying, as we see the turtles all kind of hunkered down, Michelangelo sleeping in a sleeping bag, Donatello looking at some notes with a headlamp, Raph pensively just sitting there, clutching at his sigh, Master Splinter with his broken leg up on a pillow. Nights get pretty cold here, so we'll need something to keep us warm while we talk. I've got something to share with you. Like I said, it might be important or might not, says Beth. Either way, it's your time you knew the truth. Time you learned about something important, details from your dad's past. Some things that may have been way more dangerous than we realized. Leonardo, just sitting pensively still looking at the water. Allopex looking on at him from behind a tree. And that's the end of issue 29.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time.
And now, for your pizza recipe of the day, I give you grilled pizza with spicy chorizo and corn. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil plus more olive oil for the grill, 2 ears of corn, shucked, 1/2 cup pizza sauce, 2 canned chipotle chilies in adobo sauce, minced, all-purpose flour for dusting, 1 pound pizza dough at room temperature, 8 ounces of fresh chorizo cooked and crumbled, 8-ounce bag of shredded Mexican cheese blend, diced avocado, and pico de gallo for topping. Step 1. Preheat a grill to medium heat. Oil the grates. Step 2. Grill the corn, turning until charred, about 8 to 10 minutes. Stand the cobs upright in a bowl and cut off all the kernels. Mix the pizza sauce and chipotle in a small bowl. Step 3. Dust a large piece of parchment paper with flour, then dust the pizza dough with flour. Roll out the dough on the parchment until the rustic 10 by 14 oval or rectangle, and then drizzle the dough with olive oil and rub it all over. Step 4. Lift the parchment and flip the dough through onto the grill. Immediately remove the parchment. Grill, rotating the dough halfway through as needed until slightly puffed on top and then marked on the bottom for about 3 to 5 minutes. Step 5. Remove the dough using tongs and flip onto a cutting board, cook side up. Top with the sauce, chorizo, corn, and cheese. Slide the pizza back onto the grill. Cover and cook, rotating the pizza as needed until the crust is well marked and the cheese is melted, about 3 to 5 minutes. Remove to the cutting board and top with avocado or pico de gallo. Pro tip, put out toppings like avocado and pico de gallo and let your guests top their own slice. And that's your recipe of the day, grilled pizza with spicy chorizo and corn.
Cowabunga, dudes! Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, or Nickelodeon Studios. This podcast is a member of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Check out thedorkening.com for other podcasts. Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper and Eric Will.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabibans! We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite seems trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over. And we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listeners. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.